In this video we will examine two things. First, we shall look at an indicator of anger in Mr. Trump. Second, we shall examine his beliefs in regards to the burning of the American flag. Okay, let's look at anger. It's useful to study Mr. Trump's microexpression in regards to anger, because when you detect anger in a person, you get to know what that person really believes. Their belief is so strong that any disagreement makes the person angry. One microexpression for anger is the jaw thrust. When a person does a jaw thrust, they push their jaw forward like this. Jack Brown points out that Mr. Trump is prone to demonstrating jaw thrusts without the presence of anger. He argues that this is a sign of hubris, that is, excessive pride or self-confidence, and insincerity. I will argue that the jaw thrusts demonstrated in this video are real for two reasons. First, he demonstrates them in a context in which anger might be expected. And second, he repeatedly utilizes the same microexpression in the same context, especially in the context of foreigners stealing money or jobs from Americans.
We're going to get rid of this crazy Common Core, which is the most insane. Which is the most insane thing, where your children in South Carolina, your children are educated by people and bureaucrats that make a lot of money. Living in Washington, D.C. I don't think so. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. And then I always say, and who's going to pay for the wall? Mexico. No, Mexico's going to pay for the wall. And the people that are up on the stage will say, they won't pay. Why would they pay for the wall? You know why? Because they make a fortune with us every year. We give them a lot of money. Our trade imbalance, our trade deficit with Mexico is enormous.
Immigration.
Right.
How do you deal with it?
You got to stop the border. You got to clog up that border. You have to stop Mexico from sending everybody over here. People don't realize Mexico is not our friend. They have done a number on us like very few people have done. We have to build the wall. We have to stop people from coming in, and you have to stop it now. We can't afford it. The wrong people are coming. You have people coming that are gang members, that are murderers, that are killers, and you have some good people coming, certainly. But they're not sending their good people. We make better product than they make in China, but they manipulate their currency brilliantly, and they're taking away our jobs, they're taking away our manufacturing, and we have to bring it back. So we have to be strong on China, strong on trade.
So the only ones that have the guns are the bad guys. You saw that with a magazine a year ago. Now you see it here. So they walk in, nobody has a gun. Bing, move over. Boom, move over. Boom. That's the way they did it. Just come on. Next. Well, and they kill 130 people plus. China, ISIS. You know, China, what they're doing to us in trade is unbelievable. I love China. The people are friends of mine. The richest people in China, I mean, the biggest bank in the world is from China. They're tenants of mine. They buy my apartments. I have a lot of respect. Their leaders are too smart for our leaders. It's very simple. They're killing us. It's one of the great robberies of all time. So maybe the greatest theft in the history of the world. The money and the jobs and everything that China has taken out of the United States. We have rebuilt China. They've taken it out of our country, out of the United States. We've rebuilt China.
So all over the world I do business. I make great deals. I've made hundreds of millions of dollars against China.
In this segment, we shall look at Mr. Trump's belief in regards to what should happen when people burn the American flag. But before we get there, we need to look at the nodding and shaking of the head. Nodding and shaking of the head can be a subconscious act that tells the observer what the other person thinks about what they just said. For example, I didn't steal the money. Or, I didn't steal the money. The head should be congruent, that is, in agreement or harmony with what the person is saying. If it is not congruent, then that might suggest that the person is lying. Let's have a look at an example with Mr. Trump.
And I have great respect for all leaders, but I can't believe what their leaders get away with respect to the United States, because they are really taking advantage of our country.
On the 26th of November 2016, Donald Trump tweeted and said that nobody should be allowed to burn the American flag. If they do, there must be consequences, perhaps loss of citizenship or a year in jail. One advantage of tweeting is that people cannot see the expression on your face when you do it, and so are unable to make a judgment call in regards to your level of sincerity. Mr. Trump attracted a lot of publicity with this stunt and won over the minds of the Republican right. But what does he actually believe? We have a clip of Donald Trump speaking to Letterman on the 8th of January 2015.
Here's the example that I'm always proud of as an American. People, to demonstrate, they think we're really going to stick it to the United States. We're going to set fire to the flag.
Yeah, right.
And people get, oh my God. Well, no. If that's how you feel, go ahead and burn the flag, because this country is far greater than that symbol, and that symbol is standing for freedom of expression. And there's no other country.
Right? Sure. You're 100% right.
Yeah.
What you can see is that Mr. Trump demonstrates agreement with Letterman. His agreement is not a vigorous defense of the right to burn the flag, but what you can clearly see is the lack of strong opinion against burning the flag. Someone might say that him nodding says nothing about what he actually believes. After all, Mr. Trump and Letterman are friends, and so it is possible that the former is just empathically agreeing with the latter, especially since they are on television. Well, let's have a look at another clip.
It's the greatest country in the world, unquestionably the greatest country in the world, the United States.
And yet, in 10 years, if it keeps going at this pace, in 10 years, China will surpass us.
Well, that's what I'm about to say. But
So, we can clearly see that when Trump disagrees with Letterman, he willingly lets him know. Now, let's see Mr. Trump speak about the flag rather than write comments hidden behind the wall of Twitter.
We love our flag, right? We love our flag. We love our flag. And we don't like it when we see people ripping up our flag and burning our flag. We don't like it. We don't like it. And we'll see what we're going to do about that, okay? We're going to see.
Well, this clip seems straightforward, doesn't it? Trump clearly believes in defending the flag. Not at all. This video is more complicated than what we have seen up to this point. We shall now look at this clip again, and I shall add an assessment of his micro-expressions, which he kindly provides us during the speech.
We love our flag, right? We love our flag. We love our flag, and we don't like it when we see people ripping up our flag and burning our flag. We don't like it. We don't like it. And we'll see what we're going to do about that, okay? We're going to see.
Let's give the fella another chance to clarify his opinion on the matter. Perhaps he was having a bad day at the office the first time.
Do you agree with my stance? that if people burn the American flag, there should be consequence, right? Think so. Think so.
And now for the inevitable analysis.
Do you agree with my stance? That if people burn the American flag, there should be consequence. That's right. So. Think so.
So it is very clear that the issue of flag burning really isn't important to Donald Trump. In this video we have seen the power of micro-expressions to get to the bottom of what Mr. Trump actually believes.